Hey, can you hear me? Right.
You there? You're on mute.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. It's gone.
Oh,
Is the is the window right?
yeah, it's fine.
All right, sweet. So I've I put on my headphones and then I realized that I've got 8%. So I was like, fuck, I can't use them. So then I'm using the wife's AirPods and they've got 10%. So
I can't hear any like wind noise or anything.
oh sweet, right. So I'm just outside because everybody's going crazy inside. What are you even up to?
That's family life.
That's it, family dad. What are you up
So how's
to?
your week been?
Yeah, not too bad. I go back to work next week, so um
No,
I don't know. Like,
reality,
sorry.
reality.
Sadly. So I've got that going on. And then so I've been off for what, 14 weeks, 16 weeks. It's been pretty good, I must
Mm.
say. So I'm just looking forward into the end of the year break now. Um,
What will be your sleep difference now? So whatever hours you're getting now per night, how will that drop now going back to work?
no, it'll be the same because I work 9 till 5.
Yeah,
But I work like um I work from home most of the time, but then I do go into the office. But
yeah,
I just attend meeting, like, just have the usual meetings. I get the work done. That's what really matters, really. So it's pretty flexible in terms of that. It's not like a your typical, like, your labor job or like your office job where you have to be at the desk the entire time,
mm.
which is nice. So that's pretty good. Other than that, training's been good. This is the second week of the official off season, so not too bad. Um, Training's been pretty good. All numbers are going up. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's so boring.
So with the official off season, what changed? What two
Just the
weeks ago? What
drugs.
what did you
I,
implement just to yeah?
I think the drugs. So they went in 2 weeks ago, and that was really the only change. 2 weeks prior to that was food, another big food jump, and then it's just been pretty consistent since then. But I don't think
Have you
anything.
noticed any strength increases yet?
Yeah, strength has gone up heaps. Weight's gone up like a lot, which I don't really want because of like the water and lower back and all those things. But like I feel pretty good. Like I
Yeah,
feel like I'm on just good. It's not a crazy amount either. It's pretty much pretty much the same cycle as the pre-contest, but just a few things changed in terms of like
yeah.
amounts and whatnot. So what about you? What are you up to?
Yeah, it's been a pretty standard week actually. Things are just flowing by, man.
Yeah,
He upped, what did he up? He upped my Lantis from 20 to 25 now in the morning.
so
Um,
much.
Talisman's at 80 meg. Um,
I was using a
6
channel.
UGH.
I was using a calcium, uh, a CCB, um, blood pressure medication, and I don't know what's going on, but I keep getting like edema in like my ankles and stuff from. And I've been doing some research on it. And it seems to be like that calcium blocker is the main cause of it. So I swapped back to telmisartan, and it's come down a little bit, but it's still there. So like I've just come off the telmisartan. I haven't noticed any difference in like blood pressure.
Mm.
Um, I went from
Well,
eight. I went,
Talisman is not implemented for blood pressure. It's just for capillary health.
but in terms, that's what it helps your blood pressure, right?
Yeah, but it helps. No, because it's more so. I think the reason why we have it for bodybuilding, because obviously if we have blood pressure issues, we do cardio and stuff to mitigate it. But Talisman, I think, is more so for the fact that it it adjusts your vasodilation and so you get less pumping.
Restriction.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
I didn't
your
know.
capillaries aren't poisonous. That's what
Oh.
John told me. Anyway. John told me it's nothing to do with your blood pressure. It's just we have it in for longevity, health, capillaries.
But then it's if it's just for the capillaries, then a byproduct of that is improved blood pressure.
Yes,
You would
it's a
say,
byproduct,
yeah.
but it's not like oh, my blood pressure's getting high. We implement. It's not to contradict high blood pressure. A lot of people put it in because high blood pressure. I'll put in Talisman. Like, if you have high blood pressure, you need to be doing more than just adding Talisman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Because when I did have higher blood pressure, when I did deploy it, even at 40, I did notice a slight change with it. So that again, that's not the byproduct of it, but I don't feel any different on it or off it.
Oh no,
I don't.
With your edema thing, I get mad edema. My edema is so bad right now. I'm ramping the food back down heaps this week because I hit 124 yesterday morning. And I'm like, man, I gotta stop. I gotta stop pushing. So we're bringing it right back down because my ankles are like I got cankles, man.
But you heavily salt your food. Are you tracking sodium?
No, I've been using less salt. John's like, go back to using more because you're holding more water now because you drop your salt.
Wouldn't it be like the reverse effect, but?
No, but yes, because now I'm holding fluid because sodium and water, because my body's used to flushing the sodium. Now I'm not having the sodium; it's holding the water.
But then wouldn't
It's just weird. I just don't. My taste has gone off salt a bit.
But have you are you doing these changes like rapidly or like over like a week or something? So I find that
I've slowly been phasing out using less and less salt, but it's just the edema's just hung around now.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I don't know. Mine's not sodium related because all my sodium's tracked. I only get sodium from my food, so I don't add any sodium at all to any of my meals. It's tracked from well, it's all tracked, but it's from the food specifically. And so is the potassium, and the potassium to sodium ratio is a lot higher. So then I still hold it. So that makes me think like, is it like looking into some research of like angioedema and all of what like the atomosan can do to impact that and cause it. And it seems to be a fair bit of research for it. So I'm
it's nothing to do with being diabetic.
No, because not really, no. I like
because I've got it as well. I'm not diabetic.
Exactly. Like I know it's been fun with me, but like I've been trying to like find out what the root cause of it is because it's really fucking annoying.
Mine's like knees down. That's it. The rest of my body's fine. It's just all my water's knees down. Yeah.
It's like for me, it's probably like 4 centimeters up from my ankle down, and it's like around the ankle. Like that's only like where it hangs. And as soon as I start to diet, it'll go straight away.
Yeah.
Like every off season, it doesn't like it's always there.
Same as me. Like I have to keep my boots loose at work now, and my socks, my ankles are so bad, my socks start rolling down under my foot because the fucking like just so fat.
Yeah, I know. Like it's not painful or anything, but like it's just uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like the nicest of
I know what you mean.
Nicest
of feelings. It could be the weather because it's winter, so you're getting less blood flow because it's cold weather. And I've ramped down cardio for prep, so it could just be less blood flow because I'm moving less.
But like I'm still hitting like 10,000 steps. Like that's still it's probably like a half of the amount of what I was doing peak. I just think like it's so hard to pinpoint because like it's not blood pressure because blood pressure's in check. Is it anything like drug related? Like I don't know. Is it sodium? No, because that's all tracked and managed. Like it's so hard to find.
You're not even on GH.
No, but I ended up picking some up from up in my area. I'm not gonna do. I'm just gonna start out at 4. I'm just gonna try that for a bit. And I'll just experiment. I have a feeling it might impact, the water retention a bit more. I don't know.
It depends on the person. I'm starting to get the massive like numb hands. So I always have to drop my hands to my sides to get blood back in them again because they're
When do you
fucking
know?
numb.
When do you notice that? Because I get that too, but I'm not using any.
Just as I go deeper and deeper into using GH and when my body fat gets a bit higher.
Is your because I get that in like my shoulder down, all through like my arm.
It's just in my hands.
Oh, okay.
Just in my hands. Like it hurts like all through here, and like I'll be eating breakfast. I'll put my spoon in this hand, put my hand down for a minute, put my hand up. Like it takes.
I've
I've probably dropped at least 3 times eating my bowl of oats to get blood back in it.
has I found that is taurine good for that because my lower
Yeah,
back
that's
pumps
why.
have been yeah I got one too. Um, I've how do you find using that for like um lower back pumps and stuff to like mitigate that? I feel like it
I think
sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't.
I don't think it's going to make a difference because all taurine does is help electrolyte balancing.
But isn't no
So
no isn't it help to transport the water from subcutaneous to intramuscular at that balance?
yeah, yeah, electrolyte balancing. So just to make it transfers minerals back and forth to so you balance like your pH.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
But I just like, if you're getting lower back pumps, it's not going to help. You're still
Yeah,
going to get them.
yeah.
The only way
Exactly
to get
right.
rid of lower back bumps is just
Fucking diet.
start dieting. Start dieting.
I know. It's funny because like you're probably the same. Some days it'll be like really bad, like crippling, and then some days you could run a marathon, you're sweet.
Yeah,
It's the same with like
it's literally like that. It's night and day.
yeah. And it's the same with like the edema. Like I'll wake up one day and they're totally fine. Like there's no issues that it's like they're on prep, there's no water, dry. The next day they're fucking blown up and like and then you try to pinpoint like what the issue, like what the root cause is, and you just can't find it.
At least you've still got some kind of angles. I can see from your gym videos. Mine are fucked. Like
Yeah.
my calves are actually shiny.
Yeah, it's funny because I have that too. And it's only on my left leg. And it's mostly it starts to happen when I do hold a little bit of water. But I had that in prep as well.
Mm.
And that's some kind of a blood flow issue, isn't it?
Yeah, well, no, my mum's got issues where it runs in our family with bad blood flow to our extremities. So, like in
Mm,
the winter, if my hands and feet get cold, they're fucking staying cold. It's
yeah,
so hard to warm up because the blood just doesn't go to them anymore. Like my hands will go purple. On construction sites, I've always got my hands in my pockets because once they're
yeah.
cold, I'm trying to operate, and I'm like, yeah, when they feel like bricks and they hurt, it's like fuck.
Have you tried
So I warm them up, and the same as my feet. So I'm thinking that's because obviously a lot of blood pressure is to do with gravity.
yeah,
So your capillaries have little flaps like this, and once the blood pushes through, they go
goes down.
back
It,
to stop
it
to
can't
stop
come
back.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of in your legs is gravity fed. It relies a bit on gravity.
Have
Obviously, you
you
got starless, which is
yeah.
the smooth muscle pushing it, but gravity helps. So that's why I try to at the end of every day. I never get time because by the time you work and gym and all that, I really try to put my feet up on the footstool when I'm
I
sitting on the
I
couch.
I do that every night, but I don't feel like it makes a whole big difference.
You have to probably just do it
Oh,
for like 8 hours.
well, so like I do it for like I'll do it for like half an hour, and then my legs start to go numb.
Yeah, I get sore hamstrings as well from the stretch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've done studies because if you look at Scott Stevenson, you know Scott Stevenson.
Mm. I love
So
his book.
So I
It's great.
remember one of the studies he went over once was for preps, and like the night before show, he used to put phone books under beds
Mm.
to raise people up slightly, and it'll pull all the water out of their body to their head.
Well, that's why you see
And it
everybody
pisses it out.
backstage fucking with the legs up.
Get the legs up. Yeah.
That's
It
funny.
works.
I was
It
just
works.
actually
It fucking
watching.
works. It's gravity.
Yeah, it's funny because I was just actually watching. When I came out, I was put on a quick podcast just so I can have lunch. He put up a new podcast with Scott McNally.
Yeah.
And they're talking about hard gainers.
Yeah. I watched that one. I watch all these podcasts.
Yeah, it's a good day. It's a
Because I like
good
the ones with Dave Prosselin as well.
Yeah, have you seen his movie?
Under construction.
Yeah,
Nah, I haven't seen it. I tried to
that's
find it with someone.
yeah. You have to torrent it, but that's like fucking yeah, like that's fucking gnarly. Like,
No.
and it
27
shows it.
IU today.
Yeah, bro. And he shows it like I'm fucking talking like 6 mil in the calf, like in like each head of the bicep, each head of the tricep, like no issues, like straight with like a 21 game.
Uh,
Yeah, he's
fuck.
a yeah he you you should watch it. It's pretty fucking crazy.
I'll get my brothers to download for me because he's
Yeah,
got all that torrent stuff. I used to be good at that stuff. I'm out of the loop now.
yeah, yeah. That's like a real fucking wow, like that's fucking gnarly kind of thing.
Yeah, what was it? 450 pounds?
I think um it was close
Just
to it was
over
like
400.
it was like I think it was like 420, 430 or something like that. Um yeah, and
That's like basically 200 kilos, no, 180 kilos. So
well 405 is 180. So yeah,
yeah,
about probably like 190, 195, something like that.
that's heavy, man. He's only like 6'1" or something.
Yeah, he's still tall. But this
Yeah,
is the like and like he'd show like a typical day of like him and his family going out and literally like it'd take him half an hour to eat a meal and every hour on the dot he'd sit down and eat a meal. Like a huge like fucking crate like 500 grams of rice, 200 chicken, repeat every hour on the dot. Like 12 meals.
like
Disgusting.
you'd have to have that amount of drugs because you wouldn't even like you naturally wouldn't have the appetite for that. You'd have to have the insulin and everything to be pushing the hunger up.
This makes me sick. Like he was so I think he did I think it was 3 grams test and I think it was 1.5 trend.
Yeah,
Not that I think
was it
that
train or Deca? Was it Deca or train?
but it could have been either or both because he's done two. He's done two pushes. There's
Yeah,
the first and second. I think the first he used Decker. The second I think he used Trent. Um regardless, fucking stupid, like just dumb.
even he says he would like it's stupid. He said, at the end of it, he was taking more gear for the sake of taking more gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And that's what like and that exactly that's and when he had that moment of realization, he's just like, what the fuck am I doing? And then just stopped
yeah, it's
and that was it. But he does like the blood evaluation all in the
yeah,
UK.
eval,
He's
eval.
all on top of that. Wish we had stuff like here where like you don't need to find like a GP that will like just fuck you around or like I've got a GP that's pretty good and usually like helps out with all that kind of stuff. But it's so hard to find like a GP. Like you're walking, yeah, I just want to get a simple blood test of this, and that. Just you pick off season or you want to check your bloods, whatever. Half the time they just say no.
I know. Even just and it's literally like my GP is good because she'll check like everything for me, like C-reactive protein, my
Hmm.
like everything I want, like iron, zinc levels, thyroid, IGF-1. She'll just tick them all, and I'll just go over to clinical labs. It's all bulk billed. It's all free.
Exactly. That's how it should be.
But then, like, I get some people when they're like, "Oh man, I'm like, my clients. I'm like, oh, can I get you free test and at least that,
And they can't.
on top of the kidney value, all the normal shit." And the doctor's like, "What do you want to know that for?"
Exactly.
I said,
It's
just
not
tell
covered by
him
Medicare.
your nutritionist said this. Your nutritionist said you need this.
Yeah. Well, because like I'm a diabetic, right? So that's a very valid reason why I do check those things, even just like your typical like your average blood markers. And I've been refused that before, and I said, look, mate, like this is what I wanted to get it checked for my own health, and just refuses.
Yeah,
Like it's ridiculous. Like, and then when you try to talk to them about them, they've literally got zero concept or understanding. Like I understand, like you're like they're like a jack of all trades. Like they need to know a little bit of everything, but they don't know the first thing about
no.
anything like involving that.
They even be like, "Oh, your creatinine's high." I'm like, "Yeah, because I trained the other day."
Yeah.
They,
so
they don't even know that. Like,
right, so I've got a funny story. So I've got the GP that I usually go to. I had a blood test. He was away for 2 weeks. So then another doctor who I'd never seen before from the same clinic, came in and took over while he was away, called me and told me I need to go to emergency hospital immediately because I'm going to go into renal failure and kidney failure because the levels were so high. I'm like, no, just shut up. Like, what are you talking?
Yeah.
Relax.
They don't know
Like,
anything, man.
yeah, it's funny, but like, what do you do? It's not like in the States where you get like that new like the Merrick Health and
Yeah.
but they all have to pay for that. They all pay like
Yeah, that's right.
a couple
I don't
hundred
know how
just for,
expensive it is.
but it's not like you get them every day. You get it like once,
Nah, at
twice a
least
year.
twice a year. At least
Yeah,
twice a
I usually get it like every 3 months. That's a pretty good
year.
standard for me that I've always
Yeah,
had
that's right.
done. And now it's simple now. If you've got someone that can help you, if not, it's a bit of a different story.
Mhm. Yeah, like even as an athlete, yeah, you want to know, like, I like to know vitamin D levels as well.
100%.
Like even that's imperative for health.
Yeah, exactly. If they're not going to give you that, then like, what do you do?
Yeah, like you
Have you?
can you can't pay you can actually pay for them though. You can pay clinical labs direct and check
Yeah,
everything you want, but it's fucking expensive.
how much?
Yeah, you're looking at like if you want to check everything that I check, like $300.
Yeah.
Because most people don't have that. They spend $300 on their whole off-season cycle. For the general person, they'd be like, for them, they'd think of $300 when I could buy another fucking vial, couple of vials and get bigger and stronger. They'd put
Wrong
that over their
mindset.
health.
Wrong mindset. That's for sure.
But that's how they think.
Sadly, and this is like
What they should
that's
be
like
doing
9 out of
is
10.
stop spending money on pre-workout and put that onto the blood work.
I'm not a fan of pre-workouts. I always have like a black coffee, and then but I do drink like a non-stim, like a pump product to help with that. I just like the taste of like coffee
Yeah,
or something
I
like
like
that.
coffee.
Um, like, but I like getting like a super strong coffee from like 7-Eleven or something like that. And it's like my time just like chill out at home before I go train. Whereas if I
Yeah,
drink
most
pre-workout,
pre-workouts make me sick.
but the thing is, most pre-workouts aren't clinically dosed, and they're shit.
Yeah, I know you
Like,
got to like triple scoop everything. Like you might get 4 times of something you need, but then to get the right amount of one thing, you need to like take 3 scoops.
one thing that bugs me, you get a pre-workout and it's like 8 grams.
Mm.
Like, what the fuck am I
See
doing
how
with 8 grams? I think 8 grams is citrulline in itself.
did you see the citrulline study come out the other day?
No, what was it?
Now they reckon there's no evidence of it doing any type of performance benefit.
Bullshit, you can feel it.
There's nothing. They have that versus placebo in a 12-week study. There was no increase in muscle mass. There was no extra pump. There was no extra anything. That versus placebo is exactly matched.
Yeah, but who are they testing on? The average Joe. The average Joe wouldn't even know.
No,
What,
trained athletes. Trained
mm,
athletes.
I don't agree
Do you
with
read a
that.
pull the study?
No, but you like yourself, you know that if you heavily dose essentially malate in your pre-workout or before you train, you're gonna notice a difference.
Yeah, true. But maybe if you're, yeah, I don't know. What was it? I know I
Another
felt, but maybe it's just a feeling. It's not actually doing anything.
another good pre-workout ingredient is a glycerol powder. That's
Yes.
really good.
The only thing
That's
with that is people don't understand you have to be hydrated
You have to be
because it'll
hydrated.
pour water
Yeah,
in your
exactly.
digestive tract and you'll feel sick.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I put like 5 to 10 grams in like just before I train. But always hydrated at least 6.5 to 7.5 liters a day, and yeah, you're fucking good to go. That's gonna swell right up. I had someone. I had one of
Yeah,
the
he
boys
goes
ask
two new
me.
studies. What are you saying?
I said, "Oh, and going back to like the training thing, I had a few guys ask me about Yeah, well. They want us to talk about bro split, frequency, not so much training styles,
I like.
but
Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. I'll just
yeah.
go over this study. So 2 new studies. No effect of consuming 8 grams. So the dose was 8 grams of L-citrulline in strength trained men and women. So they're both strength trained hour before their workouts. There was no increase in repetitions, no or muscle oxygenation during 5 sets of max bench press. There was no increase in power or velocity. There was no
But,
increase in isometric mid-thigh pull force.
but they're
There
talking
was
about
also no effect compared.
a max effort. You're not going to notice it from a 1 rep.
No,
max.
75% 1 rep.
Okay,
No,
okay.
5 sets going to failure. They mean
Right.
There's
Okay.
no effect compared to placebo in effort, exertion, energy, focus, fatigue, or muscle pump. There was no effect compared to that of placebo.
I'm
And
not too
another
familiar. Well,
study found.
I'm not too familiar with like the I guess like the byproducts of L-citrulline, but like there's different strands. You got like you citrulline malate, you got your L-citrulline, or like all these different things that will be absorbed differently once it's in your system. I guess that also depends on what one they used.
Do you know what as well? Who knows? For all we know, being on gear could make it work.
Exactly. And that's the
This study could
secret.
be done on natural people. Yeah. But like, look, if you feel something that's good, use it. But I'm just saying, the general people that waste so much money on pre-workout, like, to be honest, I'll be happy with the espresso shot and a bit of sodium, and I get good pumps. Because mostly to do with diet. If you go in hydrated, good sodium like meal before, like, you're gonna get pumps, unless you're fucking in prep.
Even still,
but I'm just like, yeah, we like to use it. If you can afford pre-workout, do it. But like, it's not like, people think it's a make or break. Oh, I can't do a good workout because I haven't done my pre-workout. That is literally the hay you should not be thinking. Like, you don't need the pre-workout.
It's really just caffeine. Just have a coffee. Have a caffeine pill.
Yeah. Well, I'm more of a favor of the non-stim pre's.
Yeah, I do like those. I like all the ingredients to help blood flow.
Yeah.
But then like you also need to look at like people who say that they're probably trained like a fucking idiot. They'll go in and they're like, oh, I can't feel like my lats being pumped, but like they're doing some funky shit with like their traps and like rhomboid. Like, of course you're not going to feel it in your lats.
Yeah. And their form's probably shit, so they're not even using the muscle group they want to pump up.
Exactly. Intensity, all that stuff. That's what all. Like, you can't tell me that you do most people, your average Joe would probably train how many reps in reserve? 10? I'd say.
Yeah. At least some fucking, boy groups and shit, they'd go to failure, but it wouldn't be using the muscle. It'll be body English failure.
Exactly.
Like everything gets sore and they start going, and their forms all shit. So they're not really going, that's just crap.
Yeah, that's not doing shit.
But I see people on their phones doing their leg curl set.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's like that. It's like that thing you sent me on Insta of
his top 3 exercises to the text on.
Yeah, yeah. That's the line curl. Yeah, I like that. It's true, but it really annoys me when people like sit there.
Mrs. just said it's so true.
It is. It really annoys me when like people sit there. Like if someone asks me to like work in, like if I'm on my phone like or whatever it may be, while I'm waiting for like my next set.
Yeah.
I don't mind if someone works with me if they ask 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of have a problem asking if I can work in too. But like if you're just sitting there like without paying attention to like how long you rested for, what like you're training, like you don't need fucking a 10-minute break on the machine if you're training like your triceps.
Not only that, right? We actually need rest because our sets are intense.
Yeah,
These people can just do a set. They can do all 3 sets back to back, and then they might actually hit failure.
exactly. Yeah, that's right. And you'll be surprised how many of them actually fucking do that.
No.
But I
I've
mean,
got clients, right? I've got
yeah,
clients, and I give them, yeah, I do a broad rep range, so they don't go too heavy. I do like 10 to 15, and I'm like, with your weights, if you get to 15 reps, increase it, and you might be more that 10 end again.
yeah,
And like the first couple of weeks, they send me the videos, and I'm like, they do the exercise. I'm like, why'd you stop? They're like, I got to 15 reps. I'm like, yeah, but you had like 10 more in you. They're like, oh yeah, but it says 10 to 15. I'm like, yeah, but obviously it's too light then. Like if you're getting 15 too easy, either go to failure, keep going to failure, or stop, put it heavier and go again.
yeah. A lot of what we think is common sense isn't common sense to like a lot of other people, and it's not being like a disrespectful or anything. It's more just they're just not educated, or they just don't understand, or like I'm sure if I was to come into like construction, there'd be things that you'd think are common sense
Yeah.
that I wouldn't have a clue for. I work in IT, like it's the same thing.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I've been training for like 4 years. I'm like, you think they have some kind of base knowledge?
You'll be surprised.
Yeah, no, I am surprised. I'm very surprised.
And also like like for example, like clients that like and do check-ins, like I only have a handful, but like um you can tell the people who actually care and the people who don't.
Yeah.
Even with like just check-ins, like one word responses to check-ins is not acceptable
Mm,
and shows to me how much or how little you actually care.
yeah.
You
I
send
like
me
when they give
screen
you a full breakdown.
If you send me a screenshot, you're recording yourself and you do your screenshots, and like the photo that that you screenshotted is looking like it's at an angle, and you don't edit it, you don't make it straight. It shows me how much time and effort you actually care. Why am I even helping you?
Yeah. Because they pay you. I don't
I'm
know.
not doing.
Sometimes
I'm
what they
not
need
doing
though
the
is
work.
they just like having someone to talk to. That's what keeps them going to the gym at least. You know? I don't like those clients. So I like serious clients. I just like clients that like want to be like the fucking best they can be.
Yeah, that's you need to have clients that if tell them to do something, you know that they're going to do it, and there's going to be no questions or ifs or buts. Especially if they want to actually make progress. And another thing, like if people tell me like, oh, um, like it can literally be anyone. Like there's like all these younger kids coming up saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. It could be anything in life. I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, but like they're so enthusiastic about it, but then don't follow up.
Yeah. I know.
Like,
That's what everyone does, man. That's everyone in the fucking world. Oh man, I'd love to. How often do you hear this? Is a classic example. Oh, I'd love to have a body like yours. You literally can. You fucking literally fucking can.
you fucking
Like,
idiots.
I tell that to the missus all the time. Like, you want a body like any of those actors? Go fucking get it. It's easy. Just eat right. Go fucking train. It's like you can do it. It's just what's
Very
stopping
true.
you? And it just baffles me. What do you mean wish? You don't need a wish. You can. That's
Yeah. No, yeah.
that's my head.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
We got 5 minutes left. Let's quickly wrap up on that question.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then
Okay. So with the
and then
pro
we'll cut
splits,
it.
what do they want to know about the volume and everything? And what if you're doing like chest, how often you hit chest or something?
Yeah, like well, let's go through your preference in training
Well,
for
for
split
me,
versus frequency, even for
for
like a
me,
lacking
it's
body
like,
part.
well, for me, it would just be like it's really all it is your total volume over the week. So it doesn't matter how frequent you hit it. In my opinion, it's more unless it causes you like you can't do like say you need 20 sets of legs to grow, which is shitload. But there's no way you can do 20 in one
One go. That's right.
workout. Like you'd be so dead by the end of it. Then you obviously it's common sense. Maybe I should
Split
do
it.
10 sets and 10 sets and 2 workouts. But like arms, say you could literally do 10 sets of triceps, 10 sets of biceps, probably in one workout. Because you probably do a lot of supersetting in that. 10 sets on triceps isn't that much. So you could do something like that instead of splitting over the week. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's really just the volume at the end of the week. Same as like
Yeah.
your calories, like fat loss. the exact same thing. It's not what you eat on a daily basis; it's what you have by the end of the week.
Yeah, exactly. I think like having like a writing it out and having something that like your first priority is like your lacking body parts. So prioritize that first where they sit in the week. And then figure out the frequency and then figure out the volume of each of those sessions. Because you're not going to be, if you're just saying 20 sets of legs, you're not going to be doing a set of a session of 10 and then 2 days later you're going to hit it again. You know, that you need time to recover, etc. All that stuff
That's
too.
right. That's another point is recovery. So you got to imagine your weekly, your whole body volume. Say you got like 100 sets in your bank. So it's like, okay, well, if I'm putting 20 on arms, I've only got 80 left for the rest of the body. Right. If you put 10 on your back, whatever, you got to put it all up. You can't just, you start going to that 120 mark, you're going to need deloads and recovery weeks because you're going to always be overtraining.
Yeah, pretty much spot on. It's not really too much else to say on that. Like it's pretty straightforward. Like the guys who do like the bro splits, they might recover really good and it might just work for them. You know, they might have really good genetics for A, recovery, and B, and growing. They're probably the guys that can fucking squat and leg press just in like the top short range and then just fucking grow.
Yeah. Not only that as well, some people, there's no way you could do there's no way people like us could do 5 sessions a week of full body. So we hit everything high frequency. We'd be screwed by the end of the week. The stronger you get, this is what people don't. This is when your training experience starts coming into it. You just start. There's a certain many years you're into it. You just start understanding your own body. You'd be like, "Well, I'm getting fucking strong now." Then you're like, "If I do like a good leg, good 4 hard sets on quads, they're done for 4 days."
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, if that's going to hurt me for 4 days, maybe I could do 4 and then 2 a little top up during the week. After 4 days, you start knowing stuff, but when you're young and you're a beginner, you can get away with shitloads more sets.
Oh, yeah, for
sure. You're not going to failure. You're not activating the muscle as well, and you're not as strong, so you're not going to get as many DOMs. But once you start getting strong and you start connection really well, your recovery time goes through the roof because you get so much out of that set. You need that recovery time.
It's not only for the actual, like muscle recovery and whatnot, but it's like my CNS. If I'm pulling from the floor of like a 6 to 8 for 2 sets, whatever, like I'm absolutely like ruined for almost a week. Like, yeah, I'm done. Like my blood sugars drop for the 24 to 48 hours, insulin sensitivity through the roof for the next day or two. Like,
and the rest of your workout's fucked.
Yeah,
you're
pretty much
recovering that whole workout.
Yeah, pretty much. That's spot on. Yeah, I prefer something a bit more frequent, but just ample time between each session to be able to recover. And if you do need more focus on one thing, then don't think frequency is the answer because it's probably not.
Yeah,
it's most likely execution.
Yeah, he's about to say that, but generally most of the time people aren't doing exercise properly. Like every time I jump into a set, and those warm-up sets, people don't understand they're so critical. Like I'm feeling the whole time, am I connecting with this muscle group? Is this what's activating? Am I firing right? And then like when you get into that working set, that's all that's working.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like people just like I'm just doing a bicep curl or a leg curl. They're not thinking what's going on.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
Whether you want to call it, whether you agree or not, it's a skill to be able to understand that, have that relationship, and then.
Yeah. Well, it is because I've just in uni recently, I've literally studied mechanical efficiency. That's my subject. So it's like you literally even over a 10-year span, professional racers get more efficient at moving their body to use less oxygen per breath. So it's like 10 years of lifting, every year you're getting more efficient. So even if you're lifting the same amount for the same reps, obviously once you get strong, you're still getting more efficient in that movement. So therefore you put more tension on that muscle.
Yeah.
Just by the same way.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Spot on. All right. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for that one.
Yeah.
It's the end of the 45.
I think that was pretty interesting though. I think people
Well, I'll put up a poll for next week and we'll get some questions and then